YouTube. So remember how I made this video called Nepenthes Ventrata Care? And back then I was still amateur, or you can call me a noob in keeping nepenthes. And I just looked at it today and I find it's relevantly, there's quite a few dislikes, and I'll accept it because no ever care guide is perfect. So today I'll actually make nepenthes care. And now since I have couple more years of growing these plants in experience, so I'll probably do another care guide, and this one should be way better. So for watering, along this, like, there's this thing called a TDS meter. Wait, I'm just gonna grab it. TDS meter. So this thing, so like when you click on it, and it'll actually tell you total dissolved salts in the water. And for the water, it should be like 200 is too much of dissolved salts. Use mineral free whenever possible. No hot water, no warm water, just sort of cool, nice cool water. And no tray system, they hate sitting in water, so just top water them and water them every day. They're not cactuses, they're tropical plants, so water them every day. And I used to like watering in the pitchers, but not anymore because it'll sort of dilute the digestive fluids. But well, they'll eventually like suck all of the water up. And for light, they don't need as much light as Venus flytrap or sundews because they're sort of like in scrubby places and highland places, so they can't get that much light in the wild. But like for if you're using natural light, like morning sun will be the best, cool morning sun, like for around a couple hours, and then just rough diffuse lights. Like outside right now there's no sun, but there's still like light, so that will work. Like, and yeah, they're not that much, they don't need that much light. If too much light is given, then they'll start having burnt tips and or yellow leaf, or some leaves may turn red, or some just turn brown and ugly. So, or having blotches on. Well, mine is probably okay, probably slightly more will do good. And remember, like, if there's two main reasons if your plant doesn't produce pitchers. One is low humidity. If you know you definitely have a high humidity, you have the humidifier or in like a tank terrarium thingy, then you don't have enough light, because those are the two factors. And what else? Yeah, give you the humidity. Like like humidity like 70 to 100 or 80. Higher the higher the better. And to keep their humidity, I sort of just like spraying the plants like that. Or humidifier will work, but that's the cheaper way. Just you grab a spray bottle. Temperature, these plants love a cool night temperature. They have warm days, cool nights. So days around over 21 degrees Celsius, but can't reach over like 28 or like, because they're the highland plants. If you have a lowland nepenthes, then like they're over 30 will work. And during nighttime, the coolest you can get is 15 degrees Celsius. I'm not a Fahrenheit dude, so like below 20 or like 21 will work during nighttime lows. That'll give a warm day, cool night. That'll keep them nice and healthy. And for media, there's a lot of mix. There's no proper or standard mix for nepenthes. I just sometimes, if I feel lazy, I just pure 100% long fiber sphagnum moss. Sometimes I might add some perlite, or I might add some pumice or orchid bark. All of those work. But I just like adding 100% long fiber sphagnum moss. It does, but peat moss, I find it doesn't work that well on nepenthes, so long fiber sphagnum moss is the way to go. But it could be kind of expensive, but yeah, they don't do too good in peat moss. That's what I find. And for trimming, just for the dead pitchers, they sort of like, when the pitchers sort of like fade, then fade halfway, so just cut off the dead material, because you see this stuff is still live tissue, so I sort of like to leave it until the whole picture actually browns out. But for some plants like Nepenthes ventricosa, this thing like half of the top dies and I chop it off and this live tissue just remains. So you can just put some like dead insects in there and they'll still absorb up the nutrients. So I usually like just letting it sit there. It's still part of the plant. And also trimming, like get rid of any dead brown leaves at the bottom, old ones. That once the pictures are fully brown, I recommend you trimming it off. And for repotting, like I think this plant in another like a year or like 2 to 3 years, it should do fine, because nepenthes, surprisingly, their roots is not very deep. It's sort of like fibrous, sort of like. And repotting, I think this thing is due for repotting soon, because the pot is actually decently small. And yeah, that's quite a lot of things about nepenthes. And what else is useful? And nepenthes, like anatomy, they're sort of like, this is how they work. If, let's say this, they sort of have one growth point, which is right here in the middle, and this leaf just opened up, and there'll be another leaf that extend, open up, and they also have these basal shoots. Once the parent plant gets taller, they'll start sending up rhizomes. So as my ventricosa also has a rhizome. The big ventrata down here. Here's the basals with nice, good lower pictures, and the main vine has upper pictures. These plants are a vine, so pretty cool. Here's basically all of the care guides you need for to keep your nice, healthy nepenthes alive. Well, they're very easy, like among the easiest carnivorous plants to keep, in my opinion. So we'll see you on the next video, and like and subscribe. And yeah, bye.